Here goes nothing. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Hey everyone, it's Kime. Today I got something special planned. Special as in this is gonna suck. What I want to do today is conduct a rewarming a fall through the ice drill. If you're not familiar with it, this is just a drill that's commonly performed in Arctic training for, it's exactly what it sounds like, what to do in case you break through the ice. This is a very relevant, very real possibility out here. Over the last couple of days, as I've been off, as I've been camping, doing some hiking along the river, there are points along the river where I have to cross frozen water, cross the ice. Now, in those areas, there was a lot of vehicle traffic. People are riding ATVs and such, so the ice, I'm fairly certain, is safe to cross, but at the same time, there's still a chance that you can break through the ice and end up in the water. So, like many things, it's better to have your first experience be done in training rather than waiting until it actually happens in a real situation and then having to learn these things on the fly. So that's what we're hoping to accomplish today. Because I'm out here by myself, I am gonna have to make some changes to how I conduct this drill. First of all, I am only about 5 minutes away from my car. I am in a public park in the middle of Anchorage. I can get myself to the car, I can get myself out of here. Another thing, I am not doing this in very deep water. Where I'm looking at right here, I don't even know if it's gonna go to my knees. So to compensate for that, I'm just gonna have to lay down in the water. The water here is moving a little bit, and right over there, it goes back underneath the ice. And that's one of the dangers of falling through the ice, is that you fall through the ice, the current moves you along, and then you have ice above you, you drown under the ice, and then they don't find your body until spring. Don't want to take that chance here, so very shallow water. I am gonna have to act as if I am in deeper water so I can teach certain aspects of this, but I hope that you'll be able to learn from this, and mostly, I hope I'm gonna learn from this. Another precaution for today, this is not, well, it's one of my packs that I do use, but it's not really typically the pack that I would take with me if I go out on camp outs and hikes and such. This is just my smaller kind of day pack. I'm only carrying the things I need for this drill today. I just have my closed cell foam pad. I have the layers that I'm gonna switch into, water, that's it. All right, so without further ado, I say let's get this thing on. So to simulate falling in the ice, again, because I'm taking some precautions for my own safety, I'm not gonna be jumping into the water that's super deep. I'm gonna have to just send it and get myself into the water as fast as I can, which is probably the easier way to do this anyways, instead of just doing it inch by inch and just prolonging it. As I get into the water, I'm gonna experience a little bit of shock, but after 30 seconds to a minute, that should subside. I'll probably do something to kind of show that I'm still mentally there, that I haven't just completely shut down. We'll chill for a little bit, literally, and then we'll come out of the water. I'll try to show how to get myself out of the water if I can talk through it, and then we'll go through procedures once I'm actually out of the water. So here goes nothing. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. I don't know why. Oh. All right, so there's that shock. I need to breathe. Okay? Calm down. It's just cold. Been cold before. Oh.
Okay, I get my beanie off because my beanie is gonna soak up water. My head gets cold. It's kind of a weird sensation. It's kind of weird getting a brain freeze from just being in the water. All right? And see, my body is responding to that cold shock. And even though I feel cold on the outside, I can already feel my body reacting to it and warming up. Okay? Gonna try to keep myself in the water as much as possible so that people don't try to say I'm trying to cheat my way through this. All right. So, what can we go with to show I'm still thinking? I've already been talking to the camera. See, all right, I'm in the Air Force. So, off we go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sky. Here they come, zooming to meet our thunder. At 'em now, give 'em the gun. Down we dive, sprouting a flame from under. Off with one, have a roar. We live in fame or go down in flame. Oh, nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force. All right. I don't know how long we've been in the water now. I forgot to look at my watch before I got in here. But we're doing all right. Okay? We're in control. Okay? Just gonna toss this up on the bank. Okay. So I'm gonna get my wrist out of the loops, my trekking poles, or if I was skiing, my ski poles, and then use my poles as picks. I'm gonna drag myself up back onto the bank. Okay. Well, I was in deeper water. Need to get my pack. Need to get my pack back up on shore. Yeah. Okay. If I was in deeper water, I need to get my legs level with the shore. It's kind of the same thing as if you've ever practiced getting back into a canoe. Okay, just kick, get yourself up. Also that kicking, using your muscles, that's probably good to help yourself start warming up. Okay, and then just kick and pull. Plant yourself, kick and pull. Plant it, kick and pull. Kick and pull. Okay, if you get yourself to a point where you got enough of your body up, you can kind of take it from the side and then roll over onto the bank. I'll be honest with you, I actually don't feel that bad. Now there's a couple variations on how these drills go. Okay, you got static, and you have active rewarming. If you're active, say you need to get somewhere where you can actually get the rest of this process going. Be mobile, be active. Okay, do jumping jacks, do burpees, get yourself moving. My gloves, I need to get these off. Now, I'm doing this with the assumption that I have clothing that I can change into. If I don't, you may not want to take off your clothes, because what's going to end up happening is that you take them off, those layers that you take off are just going to end up freezing. You might have to just tough it out. Maybe get a fire going. That way you can get, that way you can keep your clothes from freezing. I'll be honest with you, I'm really surprised at how okay I feel. Chances are this is burning tons of calories right now. Okay, my clothing. Upper body first, then your legs. Okay, your core, that's what you need warm first. So strip that off. I'm gonna lay my top down. I'm gonna use that to store all my clothing that I'm taking off. Okay, another thing that you can do, another thing that people do whenever they do this drill, I just don't have room here. Get out of the water, do a couple rolls. That'll help squeeze the water out. Okay, because every bit's gonna help. With modern clothes, more technical clothes, with wools and other materials, a lot of those, their warming properties, their insulation value will still be there even if they're wet. Okay, just making sure that I'm stowing everything, because, you know, let's say we're in the backcountry. Yeah, it's wet now, but hopefully later on we'd be able to dry it out and then put it back to work. That's kind of interesting. My hood didn't even get wet. And my outer layers are these are Kuyu, and then my base layers. This is just Equix, just the level 1s. I really don't feel that bad. Okay. Let's get my pack over here. Okay, I'm gonna reposition the cameras. Let's move on to the next part of this. Upper layers need to be changed first. Another reason I like to still carry a closed cell foam mattress, even if I have an inflatable one, which is generally better for very cold conditions. So it's easy to set up and lay out so that you have something to change on. Okay, I should have pulled this off too, this baklava. Have my layers in a dry bag. Your head, cover your head. People say that you lose most of the heat from your head. I guess that makes sense, just because your head is the highest point in your body. I don't know if that's actually because of you know, your brain and your brain just being an organ that needs a lot of blood, and so it stays warmer. I don't know, but cover your head up. Okay, be better if I wasn't damp, but hey, it is what it is. Naturally, I have this baklava. This is a heavier one. Usually I like just a thin one, because while I'm on the move, I want coverage. I don't want my skin exposed, but I don't really need that insulation. So if I wear this thicker one whenever I'm moving, a lot of the times I overheat. But definitely what I want to have on for this. And then I'll just throw over my beanie on top of it. I got a thinner base layer, and then I have a
a secondary layer that I like to wear on top of it for whenever it's a little bit colder. I don't feel that cold right now, but if you are, let's say if it was windy, okay, just try to stay active as you're doing this. A lot of people, whenever they get cold, they want to shut down. They want to just, you know, close up and stay still. That's the wrong move. You got to get moving if you're cold. There have been nights where, you know, as part of training, I packed pretty light. And so the only thing I could do to stay warm was to just keep moving. There have been nights I have just paced in probably just a loop, probably no longer than 20, 30 feet, just to stay warm. Sometimes that's what you got to do. Okay, and obviously, I'd want to do this a lot faster if this was a real scenario, real situation, but taking the time to try to be thorough, talk through this for you guys. Got my level 7 top, some sort of puffy. I'm gonna throw this on. There's other variations of the rewarming drill where guys don't strip anything off at all. They just immediately throw on their puffies, keep moving, keep going. And then once they get to a place where they can be static and strip down, then they'll change. And then there's other people who do it, and it really depends on the clothing, the layering system that they have. The materials, they're just so advanced now that eventually they can keep them on, and then their body heat will just warm them up, and then eventually they'll dry out. Okay, but got my top taken care of first. I have another lighter puffy. Let's see. Oh, okay, let's see. Okay, so maybe something did get wet. Yeah, it looks like this did. Okay, but this is a lighter puffy. I like to carry this one in the spring, just on day hikes. Just something with a little bit more insulation than just my whatever layers that I'm hiking in. I can hear a little bit of shaking in my voice. I think the cold's starting to catch up to me. My body did its job to keep myself warm in the water. And once I got out initially, well, now it's starting to bounce back. And you gotta be ready for that bounce back whenever that chill starts to set in. But I still have my dexterity. My feet, they're starting to feel a little cold. Well, they've been cold. And there's something here that I wanna check out. I'm gonna get my boots off. And I didn't want to wear my good boots for this. So these are just some Solomons. These are just some older boots that I had. The Gore-Tex in them wore out, so I don't really wear them anymore. Okay, I'm gonna strip that off. Okay, for this video, I'm not taking my boxers off, so those will be wet, but This is a YouTube video, not an OnlyFans. Okay. Set those there. Okay, I'm gonna give my pants or not my pants, my legs a chance to cool off or dry off. Okay, this was something I was interested in seeing. So these are waterproof socks. I haven't been wearing them that long, but a lot of Europeans use them. I haven't really heard them be recommended by any American dudes. I don't know why. They seem all right. If I want to dry my legs off a little bit, okay. Use my beanie, just the outside of it, because I'm not too worried about that getting wet. Let the air mostly take care of drying me off, but especially my toes, my feet. Same as just general foot care. You don't want wet feet. Okay, dry socks. In my normal pack, usually I have all my clothing in layers broken up into a couple different waterproof sacks, with the idea kind of being that if one ends up getting compromised, one has a break in it, then I got other ones that I can switch to. But then also it just makes it easier organizing stuff that way, because you know, if you just have all your stuff in one big dry bag, then you gotta go sorting through it. Okay, feel myself getting cold. Okay, do some exercises. My toes are starting to feel pretty cold. But once we get moving, hopefully they'll warm up again. I know they will. It's in the mid upper 20s. So it's cold, but it's actually not that bad. Again, if this was a real situation, no way am I keeping wet boxers on. For this video, we'll keep them on. I actually don't wear anything special as far as boxers go. They're just a normal athletic compression kind of boxer. Whatever Adidas. But that's where, again, more technical materials, wool, merino wool, alpaca or whatever, that's where those have a big advantage.
because those athletic boxers, I don't sweat too much in them, but for people that is a problem. You need something that's gonna move that moisture out away from your body. But for me, wearing boxers, it helps with chafing. Some guys don't wear boxers, they just wear the base layers, and that's good enough for them. I need the boxers to help prevent chafing. Yeah, that dry bag did not stay completely dry. I knew there was I got a couple of them. And just as I've been packing for different things, I think I accidentally put one of the ones that I knew had a hole in it back in the circulation, which is my bad. I should have just thrown it away to prevent this exact kind of thing from happening, but I guess that's just more training value for this little thing we're doing right now. Just trying to feel how wet the inside of these waterproof socks were. Now, boots. It's gonna be one of the big issues. What do you do with them? Get as much of the water as you can out of them. If you don't need to be on the move, you can try to dry them out. It's gonna take a while. It might not get done in a lot of places just because it's so humid, because of the weather conditions. Once your boots are wet, they are not getting dry. Maybe think about packing an extra pair. Other kinds of boots, they have liners, like if you ever seen the Baffin boots and those type of really deep, cold, Arctic type kind of boots. Those have liners that you can pull out and replace. So maybe having those boots and then just carrying extra liners. I wish someone would come up with a boot more like a traditional hiking boot with a liner. It wouldn't have to be as thick, but just so that you can change from a wet boot to changing out the liner and having something that's dry again. Something we could do that's easy and compact. Carry trash bags. Got my dry socks on. We're just gonna create a moisture barrier. Now you can buy purpose-made ones. They're a little expensive, but they're the type of thing that, you know, if you get into the type of situation that you need to use them in, you'll be glad that you have them. What I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna create a liner for my socks for the inside of my boot. Okay, make sure you knock as much snow as you can off of it. I'm just gonna wrap my feet. Let's see. It up. Okay, if I had a better bag to do this in, then yeah, I'd just put the bag on. just put the bag over my sock and then put my boot on because I didn't have any, and this is what we're doing. It's all right. It still works. Now the boot will still be cold. This is just a temporary solution. But hopefully as we go, more water will get squeezed out, and then we can get to a point somewhere that we can stop and dry our boots. Okay, another thing with the way that I'm wrapping my boots like this, instead of just having a bag, you just have a bag and slide it over. Yeah, it's faster, but then typically you're really only gonna have that one layer. So the way that I'm doing it, I have a couple wraps around. So that's one of the advantages there. Okay, if I wanted to get fancy, I could tape it up too. Just be careful about creating pressure points. Still don't want to give yourself blisters. Put that boot back on. And see if it's cold enough, your boots just might freeze. And you might not even be able to get them on. So we're changed now. I'm gonna put my gloves back on. Or I guess not put them back on. These are a fresh pair of gloves. I always carry at least multiple glove liners, because glove liners in the cold are like socks. You need to change them out. Man, you can really hear my voice. You can really hear me getting cold now. But I still don't feel that bad. And if I hadn't been talking through this whole process, I would have gotten changed a lot faster, gotten moving again. I don't think I ever really would have started shivering. What to do about your clothing? Wring them out as much as possible. And then, once you have an opportunity, you can freeze dry them. Freeze drying, it's just whenever you let the cold just freeze them solid. Once it's solid and all that water in your clothing is ice, then you can just kind of break them up, and instead of squeezing water out, you'll just chip ice out of the clothes. That'll get most of it out, and then from there, don't wear them. I mean, you could wear them if you really want to try it. Maybe if you're moving enough, if your body is producing enough heat. But just keep them in your layers, and then hopefully your body will dry them out eventually. Kind of the same thing. I do it with socks. Whenever I change my socks, that's the good thing about layers like this. If they have a mesh, that's why they're mesh. It's because you can put stuff in them like your socks, and then gets airflow. They'll dry out. But for me today, I'm just packing them up and throwing them in the dryer. Yeah, see, it's already getting hard. It's already getting crunchy just from being wet in freezing conditions. Whew. Roll it over a little bit. Press the air out. Another good reason to have trash bags or just other little bags is that each item of clothing, you can store them separately. The way I'm storing them like this, they'll just become one big giant block of ice. Okay, and before I get up, or before I leave, stand up, take a couple steps back, look around, make sure you didn't leave anything. That's where the power of habit comes in. Okay, just because you had a little bit of misfortune doesn't mean that you can forget to do those normal things that you should always do, like checking your sight whenever you stop. Get into the habit of doing those things. That way, whenever something bad happens, you don't gotta think about it. You'll just do them anyways because it's what you always do. All right. So I think that went pretty well. Again, had to make some modifications due to the fact that I'm alone, but I hope you still learned something from that. Remember, the first time that you experienced these things, you do not want to be in a real situation. Do it in a time, in a place where you can control more of the factors, but then still get useful experience out of it. Don't put yourself in danger. Be responsible. Take proper precautions. Know your limits. I wouldn't recommend coming out and doing something like this without at least kind of getting yourself familiar. It's a mental game, a lot of it is. And so even just watching other people do this, familiarizing myself with the process, that did a lot to mentally prepare me for this. But also, don't think that just because you saw someone do this, that you can just jump in and do it too right away. Okay, so be smart about it. But I think that's all I got for today. So if you enjoyed this, hope you'll like, comment, share, subscribe, all the YouTube things. But I hope you had a good time, and I hope you join me next time on Kind Time.